Hello, welcome back to Algebra. In this lesson, we're going to continue working with the point-slope form of the equation of a line. We're just going to work some extra problems to solidify and practice your skills. In the last lesson, we introduced the concept that if I give you, for instance, if I give you a slope of a line, in this case, I'm going to give you the slope of 2/3. That's the slope of the line here. And I tell you that that line goes through a point, I'll just label it P here, -1, 0, then that's enough information to construct the line. I know the point, I know the slope, so we have something called the point-slope form of a line. So you should commit this to memory. We've talked about where it comes from. We understand that it comes basically from the standard form of the equation of a line, essentially, indirectly. And so we now know that that equation is y minus y1 is equal to m times x minus x1. So literally all you have to do is take the slope that you're given, you put it in for the slope position, and then you're given that it goes through a point x1, y1, you put those values in here, and then you manipulate and you have the equation of the line. So we're just going to substitute those values here. So y minus y1 here is the point here, y1 equals 0, equals m, which is 2/3, times x minus x1, but x1's negative, so you have to be careful because you're subtracting x1, so put the -1 in parentheses and handle the signs on the next step so you don't mess anything up. So you're saying x minus x1, which happens to be negative. Now the y minus 0 ends up doing nothing, so on the left you have y equals. Now let's take it one step at a time. 2/3 will be outside, now it'll be x plus 1 on the inside. Right? So don't do things too fast, distributing in the 2/3 in the previous step. Now we're going to do this in the last step. So we'll have y equals, we'll take the 2/3 and distribute it in, so it'll be 2/3 times x plus 2/3 times 1, which will be 2/3. So literally you start with the point slope form, you put in the point here for x1 and y1, which we get from here, you put in the slope, we handle whatever signs that we have, multiply through n, and basically get y by itself, and now what we arrive at is what we've been using a lot before to graph equations, which is the slope-intercept form. So you see you plug in the values into point-slope form, and you end up getting the slope-intercept form, which is very easy to graph. Because now we know the y-intercept is 2/3, and we know that the slope is also 2/3. So let's go ahead and graph it and see if it matches up with what we have here. So if the y-intercept is 2/3, that means that this guy, if this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, this is about 1. So that means half is about halfway up to 1. So 2/3 is going to be a little bit more than past half. I know that's not exact, but it's pretty close to where 2/3 is going to be there. And then that's the y-intercept. And now I'm telling